Do you know where you are?
Just about.
You're in the jungle, baby. Wake up. It's time to shoot an episode of Is It?
Nice.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Tune,
yeah, very good tune. I've got a very good friend who's the drummer in Guns 2 Roses.
Is that a tribute band by any chance?
Do you think?
Well,
yeah, they're a very good tribute band. But, proper Axl and Slash and Duff.
it's not as good a name as the one we were talking about the other week.
Which one was that?
What was the Pendulum tribute band called?
Oh.
Not going to remember, are we?
No, but it was good, wasn't it?
It was really... I can't believe we can't remember
No,
it.
I can't.
It was so good.
Yeah. Pretendulum.
Pretendulum. I still love it so much. I sort of want to go and see them.
Yeah.
Just because of the name.
Well, they sound very good. Yeah, they sound very good. Anyway, this guy, Wags, a friend of mine, there was a guitarist in Guns N' Roses in the early 90s called Gilby Clarke, and he was playing in Camden the other night. And Guns to Roses were supporting Gilby Clarke doing a 30th anniversary tour of his solo album. And I thought, that's a strange one, isn't it? So they've got a tribute band of the band that you used to be in to support you doing the 30th anniversary tour of your solo album.
That is weird.
Yeah, that nobody's ever heard of except me and Wags.
That's interesting. Have you
Ever done
the tribute band thing? Ever been tempted?
What, to be in one?
Yeah.
I've done, loads of covers bands. But no, I don't know. No. I'm not going to pass judgment, but it's not for me.
No. It's a very definite career move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you've gone in that direction, that's where you're going.
We see there's a pub near us that's got a big. It's an old cinema, so it's got a big sort of room at the back.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of these Oasis and Oasis.
Oasis. That's a good one.
And things like that. But my brother Bob is a sort of local gigging musician in Northampton, and he played with this. I think it was Oasis or one of these Oasis, and he said the guy actually thought he was Liam Gallagher. You know, he's like, are we kit sharing? And he's like, we don't share no kits. And he's like, right, a bit of an arsehole. Hi, if you're out there.
I've seen a few through.
Oh, you went to Fleetwood Mac, didn't you?
Well, yeah, just like a few weeks ago.
Or was that just a rumour?
Have you been waiting to do that one?
No,
ever since then?
No, that was straight off the top of the frontal cortex, mate.
That's a good one. Yeah, we went to see Fleetwood Mac, which is they were surprisingly good.
Yeah,
actually, I was pretty impressed. The sound was a bit, but they were good.
Stevie Nicks.
They were, yeah.
Did she look? Was the Stevie Nicks looking like? Does she look like Stevie Nicks?
No, not really. No. But I did like the fact they all stayed in character, which.
Well,
it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But even the chats in between songs and that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what people expect, isn't it?
Yeah. But I've seen, I've obviously worked for a few years ago doing live sound and stuff, and I used to do this big festival, which was, they generally have like one name act, a real act, and then a bunch of tributes throughout the day. And I did T-Rextasy there, and the Bootleg Beatles there.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of others. Generally, they're pretty good if they take it seriously and it's their career kind of thing. But I went to see a U2 tribute act once, who were, I mean, just like that. They obviously all thought they were.
Yeah.
And the Bono guy thought he was Bono.
Yeah.
But he got a laugh when he walked on stage, which I don't think he wanted.
No.
Because he was like 5'2".
Yeah.
And it was like, they're all the wrong heights, and I know that shouldn't matter.
But it does.
But it does.
Yeah.
When Mini Bono walks on stage, everyone's...
Mini Bono. Did have did work with the Barron Knights a couple of times.
I did sound for the Barron Knights a few times, yeah.
Yeah. I remember doing the sound for the Barron Knights at the Beacon Bingo in Northampton.
Wow.
And the hearing aid loop interfered with the radio mic.
So you're just going to make people jealous of your career now.
Yeah, well, there you go, people.
Damn.
Yeah, living the dream.
Living the dream.
Yeah, I was young as well. I was probably in my early 20s, and I can remember thinking,
what am I doing?
Yeah, Mum was right. I should have got a proper job.
They were lovely guys, though.
They were lovely guys.
I did like hanging out with them in a short period of time.
I went to somewhere weird with them. Where did I go?
Didn't you go to the Middle East?
Somewhere, yeah.
Because I was supposed to do a Middle East tour with them, and I wasn't allowed.
You couldn't get the visa, could you?
Yeah, they wouldn't let me in. And I was very confused for ages, and I eventually got a letter from some...
Oh, it's because your dad was...
I can't really talk about it.
No.
Don't talk about
Yeah.
it. But yeah, basically my dad did a job which meant that 30 years later I couldn't go to the Middle East, which was, a bit strange.
There we go.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so...
Moving swiftly on.
We're looking at Windows XP today.
Well, yeah, it does look a tad like that. We've had a few people ask if we'll look at this. It's a plug-in from the past that is still getting used, and I still use it a lot. And it's the Sonnox or Sonnox Oxford Inflator. And a lot of people, me included, don't really know what it is. In that it's not a limiter.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I guess it would be referred to maybe as a maximizer.
Yeah.
In that it gives you perceived volume, but it does a bit more than that. So it's a very simple thing in that you've just got an input and an output.
Yeah.
And then you've got an effect between 1 and 100%. And then you've got what's called the curve control. You can set it to clip at 0 dB. You can split it into 2 band, and you can turn it on and off. And that's kind of it. Now, if you listen to some people, they will tell you that the effect should always be at 100%.
Yeah.
And you should drive different amounts into it to get different results out of it. I'm not entirely sure that's true. I think you can do more interesting stuff with it. What I've found it's really good for, if you've got a drum bus, let's say you want it to just smack a bit harder.
Yeah.
This is good at that. It will lift the volume without you actually going any louder.
I'm glad to see that you've made loads of notes telling us exactly what.
There's zero notes on
each section. I thought you were going to give us the scientific background as to what each bit does.
No, I can't because I don't know.
Well,
and I've tried to analyse it.
I thought it was your job to research all of this.
It is, but I still don't know what it's actually doing. I can tell you what people think it's doing. A lot of people for a long time thought it was a wave shaper, and I don't think it's a wave shaper. I don't think it's a clipper, and I don't think it's a limiter. I think there's some clever stuff going on there. It might be some kind of wave shaper.
Yeah.
It is definitely changing. It's definitely changing the shape of the wave. I would say that the effects you get, if you use it on individual instruments within a mix, if you want something to sound like it's coming forward out of the speakers, turn everything up full and give it some, it'll do that. If you want something to sit back, by messing with the effect and the curve, you can push something back without adding reverb to it. I really can't.
Very, very cool and very, very useful.
It's one of those.
Have you got a copy?
Yeah. There's probably only 2 plugins I've got which are this age. One is the Vintage Warmer, and one is this. And I use it a lot. And it's just one of those, can't really explain what it's doing or how it's doing it, but it's very simple to mess with. And it does something pretty unique. I do use it in mastering sometimes. It doesn't work all the time, but sometimes if someone sent you something that is just lacking a bit of overall punch and forwardness, it does that.
Brilliant.
It's really interesting. I still think it's a viable plugin. I don't know much else that's out there.
Where'd you get it?
Sonnox.
You'd think they'd update it if it was this good. They'd make it look a bit more, give it a bit of zhuzh, make it look a bit more sexy. Yeah,
well, I guess they're trying to sell their newer plugins. But it's got a bunch of presets which they're interesting to try out, but basically at the end of the day I literally just mess with it. But yeah, it's a really useful tool, and it's could you use it like a compressor? Yeah, almost. It does seem to do some kind of squash. And it adds loudness somehow.
Excellent stuff.
I know that's all very vague.
It is, yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you.
It's good to, bring the attention back to older plugins that are still very much in use.
Yeah, there's a few out there, I think. I mean, the Sonnox stuff was always very, very good. And this is one that there's nothing that's come along that really does the same thing. Certainly not.
Very cool. Can you still demo it?
You can still demo it directly from Sonnox, 15 days. And you can buy it directly from Sonnox too. And they will charge you $139.99 for it.
Crikey.
Yeah. But if you go to Plugin Boutique, it's in the sale right now for $27.99.
Bargain, bargain, bargain.
Yeah, $27.99. If you're doing any mastering whatsoever, I would have this. I would say have this, and try it on anything that's lacking a bit of forwardness and a bit of punch, and it'll do some interesting stuff.
So, Dr. V, is the Sonnox Oxford Inflator shit?
No, not at all. I think it's unique. It doesn't do loads, but what it does, I don't know anything else that does it.
Excellent stuff. There we go. Mediocrity and vagueness. Get it here.
I'm sure someone in the comments, or several people in the comments, will be able to tell us maybe what they think it's doing.
Yeah.
But I really don't know.
Well, let's hope so, because...
Look, I've stuck it into Plugin Doctor. I've listened to it for years. I don't really know what it's actually doing.
I tease, of course.
But it's good.
Good stuff. Okay, please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Maybe become a channel member. We also have an Instagram, which is Studio Life 101. There's a Patreon. There's our top 5 plugins, which are listed down there. You can click on the links, or you can go to our website and see it all there. There's a mixing course, there's a compression course, and soon there's going to be a mastering course, and I think that's probably about it.
Sayonara, suckers.
Adios.